Hello, everyone. This is the Hypotheticast, the podcast where we interview a hypothetical guest. I'm Ryan. This is
Dylan.
Jules.
And with us today, we have the leader for the political party that wishes to legalize marriage to the new alien species just discovered yesterday, Senator Armstrong.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Senator Armstrong.
Hello, sir.
What
What do you mean?
Why?
Oh man, we're just starting right down, aren't we?
Yeah.
You think we should marry aliens?
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, because
Why should it be illegal if they can consent and they're of adult age?
yeah.
What is
Yeah.
adult age for this alien species?
Well, that's, the $100
that's
million question,
What's
isn't
the
it?
question, isn't it?
Which is why we need more research into this.
We need to research alien sex. I want research about their...
I want coochie.
Yeah,
Well, now that's on tape.
well, that's the thing. That's okay, he's a
Off
politician.
the
He has
record,
worse thing on
please.
tape.
Oh, of course, Senator.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll try to put everything off the record. It's fine.
This whole podcast is
It's off
gonna
the
be
record.
classified.
It's off the record, but it will be uploaded to the internet surreptitiously.
Is that a thing, like, when it comes to being intelligent and giving consent? Because, like let's say, like, a dolphin. Because a dolphin's
guess.
pretty smart, and they have been known to
I always forget the set of rules, but it's 3 rules, and it's part of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know the name of it.
No, it's not from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
It's not?
For what?
Doctor Who.
From an alien?
Yes.
The Harkness test.
The Harkness, yes. Where they
That's
have to
Doctor Who.
They have to be of age, consenting, and capable of complex communication, which dolphins aren't entirely capable of.
What are you talking about? Dolphins have a complete language.
Yeah.
They can't exactly speak with us, though.
Not with
They
us.
can't really learn
but,
new languages.
But,
Yeah,
but I
but
think
the-
that's kind of humanocentric, don't you?
Why are we getting into bestiality now?
Because
Well,
what
I'm
I'm trying to... Well, I brought it up, and I
I'm
did
not.
because if we start, like, marrying and having sex with aliens, I mean, doesn't that blur the line with stuff like dolphins? Because
Well,
don't they
to be clear,
tick all
this-
those boxes, too?
I'm not saying that evangelical Christians in the 1990s called that this conversation would be happening. But I am saying that they were right about that.
I ain't even saying it'd be bad. I'm just saying it would be
I
a
am.
thing. Like, that would make us question a lot. Especially since...
Well, I mean, it's
especially
certainly-
depending on the...
Well, I mean, so here's the thing. If you're already bought into the concept of consent-based morality, then you're obviously going... No, just let me finish. If you've already bought into the concept of consent-based morality as opposed to virtue ethics, you're already in a position to entertain the discussion regarding pretty much anything that you could conceivably think of, including the concept of consent.
Mhm.
And when you don't have consent-based morality and you instead have, for example, virtue ethics, you don't have to have those problems. You don't have to question, but why is it wrong to do such and such? Because you already know the answer, and it's because the ethics say so.
On that, do virtue ethics even account for this
Well, yes.
with aliens?
Well, yes.
Why?
Well, because it's fundamentally a different species.
Was it suck? Is that what it says? Like,
Yeah, I
no.
mean that's what classical virtue.
Because
ethics would
doesn't it
say.
specifically say?
Well, I mean,
animals?
if you're being
I don't know
Aristotelian.
if aliens are animals.
Well, no. If,
Are aliens animals?
In this-
yes,
in this-
sense, yes. So
In
if,
this sense,
if,
this is my hypothetical.
so if you're being Aristotelian about this, Aristotle would say that any form of activity which is intrinsically contrary to nature is against virtue and therefore unethical. That's what Aristotle would say. And I don't know about you, but sex with aliens seems a little bit unnatural. That's just me.
So even if they're like on a technological level that's on par with humanity, and
Why would that be a distinguishing characteristic?
why would that be?
Yeah.
Because they're showing a unique intelligence.
Why does them being intelligent matter? No, serious question. Why is having
it's what-
sex? No, why is having sex? Let me ask you a question. Let's say we woke up tomorrow and we found out brown bears were actually hyper intelligent, right? What is the fundamental difference between having sex with a bear versus having sex with an alien? What is the actual fundamental difference?
The difference is that they're two different species.
Right.
But if they're both on the same intelligence level, able to be, able to consent.
Would you legalize bear sex if they were intelligent?
If bears were virtually the same
If
as
bears
human,
were Yogi
except
Bear.
they were just bears.
If bears were Yogi Bear.
If they were Yogi Bear, if they were just furries, then yeah, sure. Why would that be illegal? If
Because it's unnatural.
But they're
Because it
fundamentally
violates...
the same as a human.
No, because this is the thing.
I guess this is
not physically.
right?
No, this is important. If you go to any single person anywhere in the world and you just pluck the average person out of a crowd, right?
Right.
And you strap them into a chair and you taped their eyes open and you forced them to watch pornography of a man sodomizing a bear. Okay? They would rightly go, what the is this shit? Right? Right?
Well, naturally, yes.
Right. Okay. The disgust response is something that we as a civilization have lost. And I think that that's a real problem.
You say we lose it even though that average person that you just said would be disgusted by it?
Yes.
Isn't that
They'd eventually get hard to it. Though.
No, this is the thing. So it's not contradictory because the average person still has a disgust response mechanism. It's not like humans don't experience disgust.
Do you guys know about that experiment where they just showed a guy a picture of like a cup, but always, every time they did, they would, I forget exactly how they did it, but they would basically stimulate his or have him stimulate his
Pavlov, but with getting hard.
And what they found out was that you can literally get hard to anything if you just keep associating it.
Yeah, you can induce sexual stimulation with respect to almost any thing or even non-thing. It doesn't matter.
It can be anything.
Abstract concepts, noises, sounds, thoughts. It doesn't matter. The point is it can be associated to it.
We don't know much about these. In fact, we just made contact with them and we're already talking about them, so we don't really know what they look like. But what if it's like their natural their natural biology encourages something like having sex with different species? What if it's something like that one race from Mass Effect, like the Asari, who can only other species?
So here's the thing.
Is that
so
play Mass Effect, Senator Armstrong? Stop playing Metal Gear.
I'm not
no. This is super important. This is super important. Okay. So there's a fundamental distinction between the green alien girl from Star Trek versus a tentacle monster. These are not at all the same creature.
Yeah, but you were talking about it being natural.
What's
immoral.
the distinction?
So the distinction is that the green girl from Star Trek
is humanoid.
Is a human being
so
painted green.
The only difference is their physical forms.
No. The difference is that the green lady from Star Trek is a literal human being painted green.
So his appearance.
This is from fiction, though.
Yeah, no, but this is what.
But the tentacle monster just isn't real. So.
Right. So here's the thing. So appearance does matter in as much as appearance is a reflection of reality.
So then
that's something that a lot of people have also lost.
So then are you saying that would be okay, having sex with aliens if they just looked exactly like us?
If they were human, yes.
So then.
If they were human,
yes.
Well, then they're not.
So their insides also have to be.
Yeah, they have to be human.
Yeah. So, well, then that's not an alien.
Yeah.
Well, they're still extraterrestrials.
Do you mean humanoid? Maybe?
No, I mean human.
So just a human, but
so
like
he's saying that it's okay. So he's saying it's okay to have sex with humans from Mars.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry, Dylan.
All right. Yeah, Dylan, you want to say anything?
I feel like you keep almost saying something. I'm sorry, you got to plow over us, man, because we don't stop.
In this discussion, we're never going to stop.
Very confused with your "they have to be human" statement, considering like anything that's humanoid should be close enough.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What if there was a predator species that existed that was superior to humans in every single way?
Predator from Predator versus Aliens? Or
no, as in a species that is... no, I mean a...
No, he means the Titans.
I mean... Basically, yeah. So imagine if there was a species that
I'm a senator. You don't watch anime, I know.
That looked superficially like humans, right?
Right.
But... when you actually get down to their physiology, they're not human at all.
Oh, so it's like that...
adaptive camouflage.
That one species.
So you're saying that's not okay?
Some object.
Right, I'm saying that would not be okay.
Okay.
That's not okay.
That's not okay.
So
Because appearance is only meaningful in as much as appearance reflects reality.
And is that because of what you said earlier about it being natural?
Yes.
So then what if it were natural for an alien species to have sex with other species? Would it be okay then if it was natural?
Well, no,
like
because
if
it wouldn't be natural for the humans.
But is natural like a two-way street?
No.
Does it have to be?
No.
Because it's nature.
No, and
space is still nature.
The reason that it's not a two-way street is because we are the observer. So
Well,
because we're only discussing human ethics and human morality fundamentally, then what we're ultimately talking about has nothing to do with what other species do. It has everything to do with what humans do.
But that's the thing about discovering alien life is that if it integrates society-wise, we can't just take a human perspective, can we? Because that's like a society with mixed races only taking a white person perspective.
I
You're not wrong.
don't necessarily know that that's true.
Well, because
I mean, that's like
let's
arguing
say-
that's like arguing that human society takes a human-centric perspective with respect to dogs.
No, but it's because the dogs aren't intelligent.
Why is intelligence your distinguishing characteristic?
Because dogs aren't part of. But dogs don't make society. Well,
No.
society like we make society.
No. So this is important. Why is consent a meaningful metric, and why is
Because I'm not a virtue ethic. I'm not a
Virtue ethicist?
ethicist.
Okay. No, but this is the problem. The problem is there is no explanation for why consent is a meaningful construct with respect to sexual morality, for example, or I'm assuming also contract law, or with respect to intelligence as a governing characteristic regarding moral culpability.
But see, the whole thing with all of this is that like this is a societal how this affects society, right?
Sure.
So like in practice, I feel like you'd have to.
Oh well, let's be clear here. There's a massive distinction between what I would argue Aristotle would say that we should be doing in any given circumstance versus what people will actually do.
Well, I think we should move more to that. Like Senator Armstrong.
How will people do things rather
Senator
than
Armstrong,
what should people do?
Yes.
Oh, I have some very bleak predictions regarding that.
Let's ask Senator Strong.
Senator Armstrong.
Hello.
Senator Armstrong, I'm sorry to strong arm you, but did you appreciate my joke?
No.
Okay.
No.
What do you think? What do you think a society that's and for the sake of, because again we don't know what the aliens look like yet. For the sake of argument, let's say they look about as humanoid as like the thing from Star Trek, like they're mostly human.
Sure. Just a painted woman.
Yeah, just a painted woman. It's only women though.
Naturally,
whole of course.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah. How do you think it'll affect? You know what? Let's get a little more specific real quick. How do you think it'll affect relationships in general? Relationships.
Well, how many of them are showing up here versus how many people can we send there?
Are they fully integrated in society at this point? If
I guess it's a multi-part question. How do you think it'll?
Are we just doing exchange students?
Well, how do you think it'll affect us in the long and short run? Like at first and in the long run.
Well, here's another question: can we interbreed with them?
Yeah, I was about to ask that actually. In this hypothetical,
because that matters.
No,
that matters. That's actually one of the distinguishing characteristics between human versus non-human.
Because if they can't, then I imagine that would affect.
Because if we can,
I think. Yeah, tell me your different scenarios. Like, because again, we don't know. So, like, share with me some of the things you think would happen in different scenarios.
If they are only vaguely distinguishable non-human, as in they're just like a regular human painted green with body paint or something, but they can breed and there's no complications in birth, then there's typically...
They're just more people at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it would affect anything.
Okay, then it's really different.
Now,
it's just adding another race.
Now, there would be xenophobia, most likely. People are racist
and
nowadays.
And then xenophobia would have a whole new meaning.
Oh, yeah.
It'd turn into Warhammer.
Yeah, go back to your planet.
Damn Xenos. I almost said Zemos. Okay.
Zemas.
Okay, so what about if it's like barely distinguishable, even as the only similarity it has between humans and this thing is that it makes a society that we can recognize as such and we can it.
Right.
Well,
What
you
about
just described a thing that exists.
Do they?
What?
There's nothing that humans can't.
Well, look,
Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying that's the alien.
Right. Okay.
How does that affect things?
Is
Would
there?
you say?
Is there culture in society? Would it mesh with our culture and society?
Yes,
Would
but
I walk
yes,
down
but
the street
how?
and I'd
Well,
see?
no, listen. Yes, but it is probably a very extreme. Like it can mesh with us, but it's like it resembles the most different a human society could probably be to ours. So like we
Oh,
recognize
so
it.
it's like Upper East Side Manhattan and like
Yeah, like so it's we see
Nomads.
it as civilization. We can recognize it as such, and we could even adopt it, but it's very different. Into how, I don't know, because I don't feel like civilization building right now. But
That's fair.
So
Are you asking how that would affect humanity as a whole and society as a whole?
let's just start with wherever you want to go with it. I mean, how do you think? Let's just talk about the short run, for
the
now.
short run's gonna
like,
be bloody.
The short run,
Yeah,
no,
people
they're
just-
I'm sorry, but here's the thing: if they don't look like people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say they don't look like people. I mean, they have to be on this side of the uncanny valley, as in they have to be so people that they are fundamentally just people.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be in the uncanny valley, because if they're in the uncanny valley, we're just gonna exterminate them.
Just like cone
Well,
heads.
actually, even if they did, even if they were just basically humans but from another planet, there would be a grand, maybe not a majority, but a massive amount of people that would hate them automatically.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
That
so.
wouldn't want any interaction with them at all.
Oh yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. Which
But
is
I think it's the
completely
more
different.
alien they are, paradoxically, the more alien they are, the less we would want to violently exterminate them.
Yeah, I think
As a
it's kind of
species.
because
Yeah.
that's what
I
a lot of people
Because
talk
like if
about.
it's just like
with,
octopi in space, I don't think anybody's really gonna be gung ho for the exterminatus.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of people talk about with the uncanny valley is that it's a valley because on one end of it you can have cute relatable things on both ends of it.
Mhm.
Like
But
either it
anything
look-
on the inside gets
yeah.
yeeted.
What if aliens were just us, but their eyes were 10% larger?
Fucking exterminate. Exterminate. Exterminate.
Anime characters?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anime, but real, which would be horrifying.
Yeah. It'd be like Alita Battle Angel.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
God,
yeah.
don't even talk about.
Nope. Nope.
Why did they do that? Why did they think that was a good idea?
Because they were trying.
Wasn't that even a Robert Rodriguez film?
It was trying.
No,
to
it was the guy that made E.T. What's his name?
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah, it was a Steven Spielberg movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Alita Battle Angel was a Steven Spielberg?
Yeah. He's a huge fan of the manga.
What? Okay.
I know, right? I was like,
That's
what
neat.
the
Cool.
Okay, this is a little off topic.
Anyway,
You're right.
Sorry.
I like how that's what I like how
Sorry.
Uncanny Valley, right.
Armstrong.
So anything in the Uncanny Valley is likely to incite like immediate fight or flight, like genetic level chimp,
bloodlust.
basically
Yeah.
chimp out bloodlust from the entire human population.
Sure.
Every single person on Earth will see a picture of one of these things and go, "I want to kill it dead and burn the corpse."
Yeah, it's like spiders.
Yeah, no, but way worse than spiders. Like
Yeah.
imagine spiders, but they're like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, basically.
That would be the level of re-kill it.
Okay,
Yeah,
but there's
that's true.
someone out there that would that.
Yes, and those
I mean,
people
yeah.
would out themselves and they would be hanged as well.
Well, I think you're
No,
gonna
you
end
think
up
I'm
saying-
joking, but
No, I don't
the,
think you're joking. I
the
know how
amount
people work
the,
nowadays.
the amount of violence that would occur as soon as we found out that these creatures existed and what they looked like, it would make the past 1,000 years look like nothing. Like, I don't think people are prepared. We would start inventing interstellar travel just to develop, interplanetary nuclear weapons to start bombarding them from orbit. It would be Warhammer, but in real life.
No.
We would make it happen.
No.
You don't think?
No, you know why?
I don't
Why?
think to that extent.
Because we fucking we haven't killed mosquitoes.
What?
We haven't exterminated mosquitoes,
Well,
even
that's-
though we could.
it would
Yeah, but
destroy
mosquitoes are
them.
not sentient.
So
Mosquitoes do
make
not
us
look
wanna-
like people.
But does that make us want to kill them more?
Neither does
No.
an 8-foot spider, though.
No, but this is what I'm saying is like if
I'm saying that like
no, but I'm saying like if they're grays,
wait, you're saying if they're uncanny or not?
if they are uncanny, we will exterminate them with extreme prejudice.
I don't know, because then we'd exterminate all midgets.
Wow,
Hey, listen.
that's a take.
Listen,
Oh, good God.
listen, I'd one, but
Are we getting to this now?
That's a take. Okay,
that's a horrible thing I just said.
It
But
is.
listen,
It is. You should. That's a bad take, and you should feel bad.
Oh my God.
you're right. I was just trying to be funny, but listen,
You can't be
From an
funny in
objectively-
episode 1.
from an objective,
Yeah.
no,
You
this
can't
is yeah,
be
no, this is
funny
the
in
first take.
episode 1.
No, but listen, this is all I'm saying is that a person with different proportions
Right?
is a little uncanny. That's
No,
it.
they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
They're a little uncanny.
Not compared to anything that is produced specifically to invoke an uncanny valley response.
But aliens aren't specifically
Yeah.
produced to.
No, but what I'm saying is like you can fundamentally mark the distinction between okay, this person is slightly weirdly proportioned versus this thing is not correct.
Yeah, but you said it has to be in the uncanny valley. It has to be close enough to people.
Yeah, it has to be close enough to people that it is attempting to look like people.
But look, let's face it. What are the odds that aliens are that close to humans?
Honestly, higher than you'd think.
Look, I know that there's that whole thing about like evolution could take a similar path as long as the planet was like at least even if it was like carbon-based life, it could look kind of like it. But I don't think it would look enough like us to just be uncanny people.
Well, here's the thing. So humans are, to our knowledge, the only presently known, present company excluded, the only presently known sentient species that's developed a civilization
Mm-hmm.
ever,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere,
Yeah.
to our knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Which means that whatever sequence of events resulted in humans was the most effective and productive sequence of events ever, anywhere, possibly forever.
Yeah, you're right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get what
so,
you're saying. I
so
get what you're
because
saying,
of that,
but-
because it, no, it's like we know for a fact that the chemical elemental composition of the universe is approximately the same no matter where you go. It's made up of roughly the same elements. There's very few elements that we find anywhere else that aren't present here in some form or in some trace amount, which means that fundamentally the building blocks of space and the universe are identical throughout, but for whatever reason, this sequence of building blocks produced this species with friggin' opposable thumbs and brains that are so big that we have to be born prematurely.
No, you're right. You're right.
So-
I get what you're
So as far as I'm concerned, if alien life does develop on any other planet, or ever did, or ever will, or is presently, it's going to look more like us than I think we're ready for.
No, I think I agree that it has to have things because a lot of the changes that made us go from just an animal to this is really recent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if we just didn't evolve from monkeys, instead we evolved from birds. I mean, they can pick stuff up and they can interact with the world in a pretty similar way.
Crows use tools.
So my point is
They
simply
build
that
tools.
my point is just like how you said all that stuff, is necessary. All that stuff is in things that don't really look human at all, like birds.
True.
Like just with the less brain. So I think that it would just take a very small change way far back to completely
The crows
change.
would need opposable thumbs to defeat us.
Okay, but I'm saying, well, they can grab. Why is the thumb important? They can still grab things.
Yeah, they can grab things, but they have to grab it with their mouth or their feet.
No, but I'm saying their feet are like hands. They can
Yeah,
grab
their
things.
feet are like hands, but they don't have opposable thumbs.
But they work the same as hands.
We're getting off topic.
You're right.
Sorry.
I have no idea where we're going with this, but
all the point was just that
Look,
alien appearance.
the
would probably-
other thing I'd like to point out is carcinization. Are you guys familiar with carcinization?
No.
So, according to the fossil record here on Earth, crabs evolved independently from crustaceans, I think 6 times. So the crabs that we have today are the 6th different iteration of crabs, all of which emerged out of crustaceans independently of one another over millions upon millions of years.
Yeah.
Which means that there's something fundamentally successful about the design of a crab,
Yeah.
to the point where it emerges independently several times.
I actually watched that video. Like, If you're referring to a video, I saw a
No,
video
I'm
that
not referring
covered
to a
that
video.
like a week ago.
I read it
It
in
was
an
really
article.
funny.
But
Because-
anyway, the point is, this means that even within evolution, which we tend to think of as very random, there are certain patterns and certain tendencies that result in hyper-effective adaptations.
Of course.
And I'm arguing that humans are effectively one of those examples of hyper-effective adaptations, in as much as we exist relatively consistently.
Of course. It's just you could say that with a lot of things, like alligators.
Sure.
And
Well, alligators haven't changed.
Yeah, and they don't look like crabs. You
Well,
know
no,
what I mean?
alligators
So,
don't look like crabs, but
so-
alligators haven't gone away.
But look, my point is just that
Mhm.
the effective mold that evolution follows a lot, there's a lot of different versions of that. And while
Yes.
we are the only version of that is intelligent enough to make a civilization like this, doesn't mean that they're. I mean, sure, we haven't seen them.
We're also the only species stupid enough to make a podcast.
Yeah, well, for all we know.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know what the crabs say.
hmm I guess that's kind of.
Did you listen to the Crabcast?
Yes.
The crab cat. Yeah.
Crab
I would.
People. People.
What do you think they talk about?
Crab people.
I'm gonna say
They
I'm gonna
always
say
talk
the
about
Crabcast has a lot of anti-fishing activism.
All right.
we get so off topic.
Yeah.
Listen, look,
Sorry,
listen. That's why this is a podcast and not like
a short form interview.
Yeah.
But look,
That's good.
most people who listen to this will probably be like doing 5 other things.
That's
But
true. I always do.
So, but to bring it back a bit, what about like religion? How would aliens affect?
There we go.
So I think with respect, so let me start with the biggest ones. So I'll first address Islam, even though it's not the biggest, it's the second biggest. But I'll address Islam first because it's probably the easiest. Mainstream Islam already accepts that it's like a coin toss chance as to whether or not there exists extraterrestrial life.
Really?
Like they're already of that opinion. There's several references in the Quran to Allah being the quote unquote Lord of the worlds, plural, as in like plural worlds.
All right.
So, and like there's mentions of like people, and there's mentions of things that you're specifically told in the Quran that there are things that Allah knows and does that you don't need to know about. So if there are aliens, according to Islam, the aliens are just people. Like even if they aren't people,
Yeah,
they're
well,
just like
Well, that's
Basically.
a lot of like old ideas of aliens are just
Yes.
people, but just on other worlds.
and
Yeah.
and to be fair, like from an evolutionary perspective, like I said, it's arguable that that's likely, or at least more likely than not. With respect to Judaism, I don't think Judaism really has any sort of opinions regarding aliens whatsoever. Christianity, on the other hand, has lots of opinions regarding aliens. So there's basically a couple of different theological questions with respect to it. So if they are people, as in if they're human beings, then they're just people, in which case there's no real theological hiccups involved.
Yeah.
If they aren't people, then there's some weirdness that happens. So if they aren't people,
Are they considered animals?
no. So if they aren't people, then in all likelihood they aren't fallen, because nature itself isn't fallen. Only people are fallen, which means that there would be no need to evangelize the aliens.
Right.
Yeah, there would be no need to evangelize the aliens because they would be effectively incapable of committing any sort of sin because they would be
Yeah.
effectively natural.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think about, but that's the mainstream. No, that's actually the mainstream Christian theological
This is
position.
space pope confirmed.
I mean, basically.
The most whole. Well, I guess that's another thing, right? Like, depending on how the aliens like are, like, I feel like some people could see them as God, especially if it's like, and we haven't really touched on this so far, but like, because we've talked about aliens being similar to us, societal wise, but like, what if they're like a type 3 civilization? They would just be gods to us, right?
Yeah, they would.
Like, because that's something.
Essentially.
That's something.
I mean, that's already a mainstream kind of theory with the whole ancient
Right,
alien.
right. I'm just
Ancient
thinking
aliens,
like
mainstream. I mean, you're right.
I'm just thinking
yeah,
It's
like
just kind of silly to say.
I'm just thinking like
But you're right.
because you were saying a second ago about like considering things people from like a kind of philosophical standpoint, but like and I think a thing with this episode is like another thing is like legal from a legal standpoint. How would we even sort that out?
Oh man, alien case law would be the funniest thing to read. You just read a bunch of judicial decisions regarding whether or not alien copyright law applies for tax purposes
Dude,
in the District of Columbia.
Yeah, that's even if, like, as a society, if we even try to intertwine our two
Guys, let me
societies.
let me provide you with a terrifying phrase. The Xeno lobby.
What's that?
Lobbyists, but for alien interests.
Oh, the Oh,
It will happen.
you know, I feel like the moment, like, you know, alien society starts having to, you know, get into
Interact.
because I feel like if we interact, we'll have to think of legal shit.
Yeah.
The moment that happens, every bureaucrat's just gonna be like, I'll change it. Like, we have to change everything.
Yeah, there's going to be a huge movement to replace the word person in all of the laws with sentient being, and all of the ethics lawyers are just going to be like, no, don't do that. We will give dolphins and gorillas rights at that point. Stop.
But that's the thing, right?
So
Like,
you know the laws and regulations that considered immigrants as aliens? Do you think they would change the terminology there?
I think they would. Well, it depends
You
if
think
we
they
use.
would?
Well, it depends if we use aliens
In
to
an
refer
official
to.
term?
It depends if we use the word aliens to refer to extraterrestrials.
But they're still immigrating, so they would still be aliens, wouldn't they?
They would be aliens, but they would be extraterrestrial aliens,
Yes.
as opposed to simply foreign aliens.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I really like the fact that one of the first acts that the U.S. Congress passed was the Alien and Sedition Acts. That's one of my favorites.
Aliens. God.
They really do exist.
Anyway,
To finish
So-
my thought from earlier.
oh, you want?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I was saying that who's to say as a society we even try to like intertwine our two societies? Like who's
Yeah.
to say we find aliens
No,
and don't
that-
just say that and
I'm-
leave them alone?
I honestly think that there would be a sizable movement of just sort of isolationism.
Yeah, just
Of
leave
people
them
just
alone.
going, let's not with them, and they won't
Because
with
I think
us.
the scientific community would probably have a field day, but like societal wise, you're right. We could just
Yeah,
We have to do something about
we
the
could
scientists.
just have
send all the scientists over there.
because all
Yeah,
the scientists
unironically, we load up all the scientists on a rocket
Yeah.
ship and send them to the other planet.
true. 'Cause
That's my unironic opinion.
all the
Do it.
scientists
Do
just
it.
want to learn more about the species.
They can learn as much as they want. They just
Yeah.
can't come back to report it.
But most
don't
of the
need that.
normal people would just be like, I don't want anything to do with that. That's just going to mess our entire life up too much.
Mhm.
And then they're just going to say, no, leave them alone.
Yeah, but
Honestly,
I feel
yeah.
like that goes for everything ever, like every
Yeah.
new thing ever.
But I have a feeling our governments probably wouldn't care and do it anyway.
No, I mean, like our governments have always,
I mean, look
You
at
know,
what's happening right now.
Yeah.
have always like resisted change. I mean, that's what conservatism is resisting change. So like, you know, and whether it's good or bad.
Actually, no. I disagree with that categorization.
Okay, well then, fine.
Well,
Whatever categorization you want to use, terminology isn't what I'm saying. All I'm saying is
Conservatism
that, like,
is advocacy for the status quo.
okay. You're saying. You see, Jules, this is why it's hard to talk to you sometimes. You knew what I meant, but you still had to.
Yeah.
It's your, not you are.
No, but aliens would literally have to show up at our front door for us to even know that they exist. Because if our
Yeah.
government finds anything out, they're not going to tell us.
That's true.
They're
I
just
disagree. I disagree. Do you understand the amount of power, the amount of control that can be generated by saying aliens are coming to steal your babies?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Look, let's be clear here. People already agreed to massive humiliation rituals over the fucking sniffles. This whole last year has basically just been the government going, how much can we you and have you say thank you. That's what this year's been. This is the reason that, like, in New York, they'll have concerts where everyone is in an individual little bubble. You understand that this is some humiliation. That's what it's for.
That's always something that made me skeptical of UFOs, because, like, if they were here, either A, the government would just say it and, like, everything you just said, or B, the aliens would be so, because if they came here, I guess that's something we haven't talked about much.
Why
but, like,
would they come here?
But, like, if aliens came here, that would imply that they're way more advanced than us, and if they were, then we couldn't stop them.
Correct.
So that's what was always made me skeptical about the whole thing. But I was saying something a second ago. What was that? I was going to say something a second ago.
Humiliation rituals,
Yeah,
government
before
power.
that. It was the thing that you said, because because I interrupted you with it. What was I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
I was trying to keep my own thought in my head.
Oh, right. Conservative. Right, because he f***ed me up. Because he was being a grammar Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not being a grammar Nazi. I'm being an ideological pedant. Get it right.
Yeah, you just did it again. So I think it goes without saying that at least at first, like, governments would resist anything like that. It would but I think over the long run, like, we would just either get used to them or become too curious about them. Especially if they didn't do anything bad to us for long enough.
Yeah.
Which, who knows if they would. But
I mean, governments and corporations would always find a way to exploit them.
That's another thing. I think corporations would probably...
Yeah.
Because...
Well, considering what we just found out
They would
about
want to
OxyContin,
monetize
yeah,
Corporations will absolutely monetize aliens. Considering the fact that they literally found a way to monetize opioid deaths. That's what we found out a couple days ago. Was that Purdue Pharmaceuticals had figured out a way to monetize opioid deaths.
Wow.
They figured out a way to turn it into money.
What do they do?
They rebated their shareholders for every person who died from opioids.
Oh my god.
Do you understand the level of evil involved there? It's literally anytime somebody dies, you win a prize. And we wonder why it got so bad. Look, but the point is, if corporations are willing to do that to humans, what won't they be willing to do to aliens?
True.
And then alien... And what I feel like...
But I don't think any alien civilization smart enough to exist will allow itself to be basically taken over by human corporations. I say that as like
Japan.
more. No, I say that as more of the world's Fortune 500 companies are Chinese than American now. So I take it back.
I guess in a lot of scenarios we always assume like we're how we act upon aliens, because I mean obviously we can't know how they would act upon us entirely, but like
Well, I mean, we can have some clue.
right, but because like if the aliens like
If aliens show up with enough technology,
if they have like way more technology than us, and like imagine if they like sold it to us.
dude, imagine buying the Xeno gun from the Xeno Halliburton.
It's just like the every supermarket in a sci-fi thing, which is just the size of a planet.
Yeah.
It's just a big square.
That brings me to another thought.
Would aliens have shopping malls?
Well, no.
These are the real questions.
But do you think war on our planet would get worse or better at the discoverance of aliens?
Better
Depends.
as in less casualties.
As in less war in
Depends.
general.
No.
less war, I think.
So I think
people
you would see. So I'm going to be honest here. I think you would see two separate geopolitical currents simultaneously. You'd have the people saying, "Okay, everyone, shut up. No one gets to talk to the aliens. We're all going to form a team to say F Xenos." And then on the other hand, you would have a very small number of countries who would go, "I want them spaceships so I can go invade other countries."
You're right.
And you would see an outbreak of human wars with human weaponry between nations, where it's literally just a League of Nations or probably even the UN. Because the truth is, this is something all the great powers could agree upon.
which is we should not allow North Korea to have flying saucers. We should not allow North Korea to have neutron bombs. We should not, like, you understand, like, because the thing is, like, with nuclear weapons, it's like, okay, it's a problem, but, like, we have so much of a track record of nuclear weapons not being used that there's almost less urgency with respect to nuclear weapons. But with alien technology that's so far advanced that we don't have anything to counteract it, like, it'd be like having a nuke in 1800. It's like there's just no way to counter it.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a massive source of conflict.
What?
Who looks at it?
Yeah.
Haven't you ever watched Avatar? Can we talk about how dumb that is?
Yes.
Where
can
they
we,
just defeat the humans with arrows.
Can we also talk about how the
yeah.
Can we also talk about how the humans were really weird and the humans built meat? The humans built meat puppets of this other species and then walked around in the meat puppets. Can we just acknowledge how freaked out humans would be if an alien species showed up and started creating human meat puppets?
You know,
Can we just talk about how the aliens did nothing wrong?
Dang! Wow, I can't believe Avatar actually has like a very
it
connects to our.
It's
topic.
one-to-one.
Yeah.
It's a one-to-one topic here.
Yeah.
And he also falls in love with an alien, so it actually.
But
Hey,
he fell
hey.
in love with the alien while he was piloting the meat puppet. So then we have to ask the question: what is the measure of a man?
what is a man? Behold a man
Well, the
holds
funny thing.
chicken.
Well,
Diogenes, get out of here.
I love that so much.
That's my favorite thing. The second best Diogenes story, by the way, is the one about Alexander. Alexander the Great went
I don't
to
know
go went to go visit Diogenes, and he said, he was looking for wisdom, and Diogenes said, "All I have to say to you is get the f*** out of my son." He was rude to the emperor of the world, and Alexander and his guards were like, "Get him!" And Alexander was like, "No, he's right." And Alexander very famously said at that point, "If I were not Alexander, I would wish to be Diogenes." So Diogenes was so much of a Chad that he told Alexander the Great to go himself. I mean, I'm just saying. To be clear,
True.
even Aristotle never told Alexander the Great to go himself. And that's saying something.
Yeah, so
why do we stop?
Sorry.
I can't remember.
Sorry.
I
Getting
can't
so off
remember.
topic.
I can't. Right, Avatar.
Avatar. Diogenes from Avatar.
Okay, but before we talk about
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series.
before we talk about the meat puppet though,
Yes.
can we just, because like it's weird how in that movie, like Hollywood does this thing obviously where like, oh, we need humans, you know, so it's relatable or whatever, but by putting humans in a movie that was clearly just supposed to, like, it comes across as a movie that
It's Dances with Wolves.
it comes across as a movie that the creator wanted to maybe just be aliens or have humans be less important, but then Hollywood was like, but no, they have to, and there has to be a romance, and the guy was just like, well, the only way that would work is if they were aliens too. Wait, no.
Meat puppet time.
It's just like what happened
Meat
with
puppet.
yeah, but that's all I had to say.
I mean, you're right. You're not wrong.
And yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like if humans ever like integrated into, because you know how there's like weeaboos, like Americans who are obsessed with Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be
There would be xenoboos.
Yeah, there's gonna be xenoboos, and they're gonna be the most uncanny thing to behold. Because if the alien race is
They're going to be like those people who get transracial surgery.
What?
Have you not seen this?
Is that real?
Yeah, there's a K-pop stan who literally got surgery to make himself look Korean.
Oh yeah. Okay, I saw that.
yeah.
There's also
You
some
think
German
people
guy.
Who get like prehensile tentacles?
Yeah, no, there's
yeah.
also.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
I think people would do that without the aliens.
Oh no.
Would you?
Once we can,
No.
maybe.
No.
Depends on where it is.
Bad. No.
Wait, what? Huh?
I want like
A tail?
You want
no.
a tail?
Well,
No.
like,
You
is
want
it a
an
tentacle?
Extra weird?
Is it like a octopus tentacle?
It's just like, yeah, sure.
Um,
It's a flesh arm that's prehensile. So yeah.
You're not doing a good sell.
Is
Why
it
not?
slimy?
No, it doesn't excrete anything.
Can I pick up stuff? Is that the suction cups?
It's prehensile. No,
No, but
So
I
it's
can
just
pick
a
stuff
fleshy-
up.
but it's
Can I pick-
prehensile.
So it's just a
Does that mean I
fleshy,
can
like,
or can't pick stuff up?
You can't. It doesn't. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but prehensile is like your tongue, right?
No, prehensile is like a monkey tail.
Well, yeah, like your tongue, as in you can move it around. You can.
Yeah, your tongue is not prehensile.
How is it not prehensile?
Can I pick stuff up
Because you have a
with
very
my
limited range of
tentacle?
motion with it.
You know what I meant.
No.
Can I pick stuff up with my tentacle?
But yes, that's what I meant. And
Can
yeah,
I?
yeah, sure. Why are we? Why? How did we get here? Why are we?
Then yes.
Alien
yes.
body modifications?
But
Then
yes,
I would
sir.
have a tail.
Is it a tail or is it a wiener?
No, it's, why would I want to? Wait, does
Oh.
it feel like a wiener?
Gentlemen, please, this is episode 1.
If you could have a prehensile wiener, would you?
What would be the fucking point of that?
I don't
Her
know.
plan-
To do a
her-
little dance.
No, listen. You know what it is.
To do a little dance, he says.
You know what it is. You know what it would be.
No, Ryan, I
What?
don't.
Her pleasure.
Yeah,
Ah, come on.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I mean, the dick isn't like deformed in any other way, right?
It doesn't. I don't.
It just looks like a dick, right?
What are we talking about?
What is happening right now?
Where are we going?
I don't know.
All right, say something else. Move us on.
Say something else. Okay.
So Diogenes, right?
No.
He flung human feces at anyone who would come by.
We were talking about
He lived
meat
with
puppets
stray
We're
dogs.
talking about Xenoboos.
Right,
Meat
Xenoboos.
puppets.
and meat puppets.
And we were saying that the Xenoboos would probably get Xeno body modifications.
Oh man.
Yes.
But yeah,
People already do that. There's
yeah.
that one makeup artist or something that wanted to be like an alien.
Yeah, there was one who got
rid of his eyebrow.
there was one who got AIDS and then decided to become a lizard man.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
There's the orc guy.
That was
Oh
weird.
yeah, the orc guy.
Yeah,
looks
he
really
got
weird.
tusks and he
It
can't
was-
close his mouth.
It was all weird. All of that shit is so weird.
it
It's
is.
very strange.
And it's gonna be even weirder when we have aliens
Yeah.
to
The
deal
thing
with.
that really bothers me is that when they want to look non-human, they don't do a good job of it either.
I don't think you could.
But like
right
the
now,
orc-
right now.
I mean,
Like the
I
orc
have some
guy.
advice for people who want to look non-human, but I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
burn victim. I don't.
Wow, that was even darker than what I was going with, but okay.
Mr. Armstrong. How dare you?
This is not me. This is my persona.
Stop.
Did you say persona?
Persona. I don't have a persona. When people have aliens, people already have alien sonas.
Dude, that's not even a question.
Yeah.
Well,
course.
is there a word?
Get the fuck out of
Is
here.
there a word for?
Oh no.
Is there a word
Oh
for it?
no, xeno catfishing.
Oh.
Two words and I
How
killed
would that
everyone.
work?
Two
Wait,
words
wait,
and I
hold
killed
on.
everyone in
I
here.
think to be like intergalactic Tinder.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there
You
would.
think there wouldn't be intergalactic Tinder?
There would be.
There would be
But-
intergalactic
But
Tinder.
going back to what you said,
Yes.
just imagine like alien catfishing.
Imagine alien serial
Would it
killers.
be?
Oh god.
What species are you?
Hold on.
How long is
Yeah,
your
what
Wait,
species?
tentacle?
would it be? Well, I guess it depends on how much the aliens want to f humans, but would it be go both ways?
I'm gonna be honest here.
Yeah,
here.
like an alien that
So-
says they're a
So,
human.
so let's
and
be
you
clear
meet
here.
them.
I'm of the opinion that the human propensity to want to anything that moves and a lot of things that don't is probably an evolutionary advantage.
Yeah.
So, given that that's the case,
I
I'd
was
say
about
it's
to say
likely.
that. I think
I'd
it's
say
likely too.
I'd say it's likely that any other species that exists is probably going to have a similar tendency towards not really paying attention.
I'd say it's likely just due to curiosity, but how is it? Why is it an advantage?
But
Are you
know-
kidding me?
Because the more things
Because
you
if
fuck-
everyone was a celibate monk, there would be no people.
Yeah. Okay.
If you didn't want to do it, why would you ever do something that disgusting?
I thought you were taking it in a different route of humans
No.
wanting to anything, including
No.
non-human.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He's just
What I'm saying
he's
is
just saying that
libido
desire
as a concept.
is a byproduct of
Then-
that.
Yeah, it's a byproduct of surplus libido. I say surplus, but
Yeah, and something you said earlier about like human modification not looking good. I feel like it's the same thing with the Uncanny Valley, where because it's a little bit like CGI, where
Yeah.
like, early CGI looks so uncanny but we're finally starting to get to the point where it's so good that it looks actually good. Like Thanos's, pores and
Thanos's exact facial movements.
Before we get too far away from it, I want to say
Enough about
something.
Thanos. Let's talk about aliens.
Yeah, I want to say something
Wait a
about.
minute.
Imagine it was just
about the
Thanos.
alien catfishing.
Yeah.
Just imagine, how sometimes you'll go on a blind date or something, and the person on their picture will look really nice and skinny and all sorts of stuff. You'll go there.
That was an old
and
picture.
the person has gained quite a lot of weight, or like they've gone through some sort of accident per se that has changed their facial feature or something, anything along that line, or they could have just been completely lying.
Okay.
But just imagine that on an alien point of view, where it's just a picture of like a normal looking human female, just like an average human female.
So an unremarkable.
And then you
person.
go on the date, and there, standing in front of you, is some sort of weird tentacle monster.
Define weird.
What do you mean? It is a
What
tentacle
the fuck
monster.
do you mean
Don't-
define
not
weird?
Don't pull a Jules.
Don't pull a me.
But
Only I can pull a me.
Just because you're not into it doesn't
do you know how terrible that would feel?
Yes, it does.
You go on a date, and just standing in front of you,
I
is this weird
what I
tentacle
just
monster.
considered?
Have you been catfish before?
You know what I just considered? So
Sorry.
you know what I just considered? So like when humans catfish each other, like it's just something like that, where it's like someone you thought was skinny is fat.
Yeah.
But the thing is, imagine if people started Xenos, then that would be great for ugly people, because you couldn't tell an ugly alien from a beautiful one.
That's true.
Oh my god. I
Wait,
guess.
couldn't you though?
Well, unless it's not
Unless-
just different enough.
Well, no. So here's the thing.
It'd be like if it was
no.
if
So
it-
like, what if
like of the same race.
What if, as far as humans are concerned, there are some that are prettier and some that are uglier, but
Right.
the species doesn't have that same set of standards. Like y'all ever
Right,
seen?
but that's kind of
like,
what I'm saying. Like
have y'all
our
ever
set of
seen
beauty standards would
the
be
Munsters?
No, actually.
No.
I've never
Okay,
watched that
it's
movie.
this extraordinarily old TV show from the 50s.
Oh, it's a TV show.
Yeah, and it's basically the precursor to the Addams Family, where it's like they're all like weird monster Halloween people. But they have living in the household also is the niece of, I don't remember which parent it is, but the niece, who's this really beautiful looking blonde white girl who's just a normal looking beautiful girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they all act like she's the ugly black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you poor dear,
Yeah.
because
Well,
they have
that's-
this weird messed up sequence of beauty standards.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
exactly,
thinking that's exactly what would happen with Xenos of any variety.
Yeah.
Like for all we know, like there's a certain subsection of them who just look exactly like the green girls from Star Trek, and those are like the really ugly ones.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, that's too bad.
Well, that's what's in most. That's most of like any kind of porn with aliens. It's like you see these large breasts.
All right.
Alright, I
You
don't.
see these
That's
large
enough.
breasts. These are
That's enough.
these are ugly.
That's
in my-
enough.
Ryan.
Do I need to go get some cold water?
Everyone listening knows what I'm talking about.
Either way, that's enough.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, you
You
did.
did. You said.
I said
You
You
porn
said
with aliens.
things.
I didn't say anything that could take us off this air. Look, you get.
Look.
We're talking about fucking aliens.
But we don't have to be explicit about it. Have some decorum, man. Now back to Diogenes flinging his.
So yeah, the catfishing would be weird because,
Yeah. it
or
would be
not even
very
catfishing
strange.
at that point. It would just be a bunch of people who
Octopus fishing.
usually couldn't get laid, could probably get laid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would basically have
They
like.
could definitely. get
Wouldn't
laid.
it be so incredible if we had like a reciprocal ugly program where we sent our uglies and they sent their uglies and we thought that the other was beautiful? I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
Hey, you'd finally
Yeah,
get a date.
But yeah,
Hey!
Oh, I'm
going
sorry.
back slightly to the
You're gonna blow up the mic. Stop. Look at that.
Oh no, the poor microphone. We heard it.
okay, going back to the you couldn't really tell what was beautiful in an alien species depending probably on what the alien species looked like,
Mhm.
because like in Futurama per se, there's certain alien species that are literally just blobs of goo.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be able to tell.
I was gonna say there's like a tiny number of people who would be
Tiny.
Yeah, but
One standing right next to
one blob of goo.
Oh
You're
no!
not standing.
It's gross. Sitting.
Wait, standing. Oh no, there's a ghost in here.
There's a ghost.
Quick, everybody get out!
No, one
Stop
one
recording.
blob of goo wouldn't objectively look more beautiful than the other.
I'm gonna
blob
have to
of
disagree
goo.
with you there because people have weird taste.
Well, if it was...
This
Are you
blob of
honestly
goo
telling
is
me?
more
Are you,
beautiful
no,
than
I have a
this
serious
blob of
question.
goo?
Are you honestly telling me that there wouldn't be people who distinguish between one color of Jello versus another?
I know they would.
I don't think he's
Also
saying that. I
viscosity.
just think he's saying that it's not like...
Well, no, none of this is objective because
No, all I'm saying-
because once
all
you
of
get
it.
into the topic of fucking extraterrestrials, literally, you kind of lose any ability to argue objective aesthetics.
No,
Because you can't.
I'm not arguing objective aesthetics. I'm just saying that if you're into a slime,
Right.
then the thing, let's say, for example, the slime can't even see color because it's a slime. The thing that makes the slime attracted to another slime is like, I don't know, it's composite
pheromones.
or something like that. Pheromones that like humans couldn't pick up.
Yeah.
Then the thing that makes it attractive to a human is completely different than what makes a
Right.
slime attractive to another
Yeah, if
slime.
you're into a slime,
Therefore,
you're probably into all
therefore,
slimes.
a slime that is ugly to other slimes could be beautiful to a slime, to a human who's into slimes.
Okay, I have another
I
question.
think we all agree on that, yes.
I have another question.
I'm just saying that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Food.
What about food?
Could we eat this sentient alien species? And conversely, would they eat us?
I doubt it.
Why?
At first.
Why?
Because it would cause probably like an interstellar incident.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like, I think people would do it. Obviously, I mean, there's people who eat people now,
Yeah,
so I think
right.
there'd be
It
a
would
lot more
happen.
people who would eat alien.
I think it'd be.
I think there would be a lot more people that would at least try to eat an alien.
I think the amount of
Absolutely.
people who would eat aliens.
Dude,
would
if an
be-
alien landed
would
in
be-
my backyard, I would absolutely kill and eat it.
with no questions.
No questions. You land in my backyard, Mr. Extraterrestrial, I will kill you, skin you, fillet you, and barbecue you.
I think it would have to depend on like, because if the aliens,
I don't even care if it tastes like shit. I just want to acquire their power.
because if the aliens, again, if it's something close to us in terms of technology, and they're not okay with it, and we do that, that could be very bad for us.
Yeah.
So it would have to probably be, you know, like how we think of eating humans, which is
I would
just
love
like,
I would love for aliens to show up and just have super advanced technology, but they got so advanced that they forgot how to protect against projectile weaponry. And so a shotgun just ones them.
well, that's what happens in that one sci-fi book that's like the super peaceful, like people on the surface. I forget what it's called, but it's that old sci-fi book where like humans evolve into two species. The one that's above ground is all
Oh,
peaceful. and one
the
that's-
H.G. Wells one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in the end, the underground ones who are way less advanced just kill them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way it
That
works.
kind of sounds like the TV show The 100.
I've never watched that show.
Oh.
It
kinda
was a
sounds like
decent
that.
show. The first 2 seasons of that show are incredible.
Hmm.
Everything after that's crap.
Yeah,
Sounds
because
pretty-
it sounds
pretty-
basically
pretty
like
standard.
that book.
Yeah.
Because there's one, they're not really two different species, but there's the ones that live underground and then there's the ones that live above.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was basically the same thing.
Yeah, and that's another thing, you know, because I was watching this like documentary about alien contact a while ago, and one of the things that it's kind of like what Jules was saying about how there's a lot of evolutionary commonalities that you'd see throughout, you know, the universe, and one of them is that like an alien species that would go out into space would probably be a predator. Because
More than likely.
because in nature herbivores don't need to be as smart because they don't need to outsmart their food. So the smartest animals are always meat eaters. So like
Take that, vegans.
Veganism BTFO.
If Rita's listening to this.
you can't use names of people we know personally on a podcast we put on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan and Jules.
Yeah, but we're on the podcast.
It's different.
We don't
Anyway,
care.
anyway,
To be fair, there's no actual way to identify her from that.
I know, but it.
I mean, we shouldn't
Just
name her.
bleep
For example, we should not
we need to
name.
stop talking about her.
Yes.
Anyway, she'll probably be a guest one day.
That's fine.
Call her right now.
No.
No.
but fuck, what was I saying? right. They gotta be predators, or at least they're more likely gonna be predators. And if they are, then there's a likelihood that they'll be at least they'll have come from a warlike civilization. So some people actually that kind of put the idea that we could go to war with aliens kind of in the more likely camp, because unless they're just not intelligent, like
in which case we're not gonna find them.
So point is, if they can make spaceships, they've probably made a bunch of weapons. And that's another thing. Like,
that doesn't mean that they're going to be hostile, though.
I'm not saying they'll be hostile. I'm just saying that, like us, they will have come from a society that has probably did war.
That just did war.
Unless they're like some kind of like bug or like hive mind thing, maybe.
I think that'd be worse.
I feel like that's the only other way.
Well, like space ants.
Yeah, space ants.
Ugh.
Exterminate.
Yeah.
Space ants.
Finding a space ant like colony would be a lot worse
Yeah,
than
if we
finding
find a
any
planet
other type of society.
orbit.
If we find a planet full of like giant ants,
Guys.
I'm on board with Jules. We should just
Guys, that's just Starship Troopers.
But if
But
they
they're
were
not
like,
intelligent. Well, they're not.
well, that's
They
the
are
thing.
intelligent
The
in Starship
bug
Troopers.
branches.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
But that's what I was about to say. Like, let's say it's a hive mind ant type of alien civilization. What if the hive mind is like benevolent? Would you still say
If it's
Yes.
benevolent,
Exterminate.
if
With
it's-
extreme
if
prejudice.
it's like
okay?
wholly
Well, we have
benevolent.
his Yeah, I just mean like what if the hive mind's just like I don't know, like a mom.
Aw.
I mean, like
Ant Mom.
Unity from Rick and Morty.
Like it doesn't
Exterminate.
want to eat us or nothing.
If it has literally no hostile intentions at all, then yeah, sure.
But does it have the capability of
You people
pulling us into the hive mind?
You people gotta
No,
understand.
then it's fine.
So here's the thing: if it's fundamentally incapable of ever developing space travel, then I'd say it's fine to just quarantine the planet, leave them be. If it is capable of developing space travel, I'd say you kind of have a biological obligation to exterminate them.
Why?
Well, because we need to prevent them from ever becoming a threat.
But only for the ant ones, not the other ones.
Well, I mean,
He's saying for any.
depends.
It depends. Oh.
Yeah. So any species with a hive mind has an intrinsic advantage over humans.
Oh,
Yes.
you're saying okay. You're saying that.
Like an intrinsic, like innate
Yeah.
advantage over humans because it has the ability to coordinate significantly better than we
But
do.
then that kind of raises the question: like at that point, should we risk aggravating it? Because if
This is the thing. So only if you can be certain you can destroy it.
okay.
Anyway. So after, so we're gonna kind of close off here with our discussion of genocide of the giant ants.
Look, let's hope the alien race we found aren't ants.
I say yay, we kill them.
I also say yay, we kill them.
Look, hopefully they'll just be blue ladies, and we can have
I
sex
still
with
say
them.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll just be blue.
That's your
ladies.
hope. That's your hope.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
our
sorry.
hope.
Actually, I've got a much more controversial hope. I hope there are no aliens.
You're sad.
I hope it was all a hoax.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Senator Armstrong.
Senator Strong Arm over here.
You're welcome, Mr. Lee.
All right.
I'm gonna go home to my bug wife and my bug children.
You motherfucking